Okay, let's see if I have the energy to even do any of this. Hi. How y'all doing? I am just trying to get over what I was frustrated with about for the last hour. So, Wi-Fi issue. Last time I tried to stream, I could not get Wi-Fi to the garage whatsoever. So I ended up having to take the access point back to the house, plugging in, resetting it, updating everything because the firmware was out of date and it didn't update correctly last time for some reason. I don't know why. And then bring it back out here tonight, and it not working still. Lots of troubleshooting later. I ended up running it out the front of the garage. You see me when yeah, out the front of the garage, and that, along with some other changes I made, seems to be somewhat working, if not working perfectly fine. So I don't know. We'll see if that holds. If not, then I have no idea what I'm gonna do. It was really close by. Oh, that's like here close by. Huh. All right then. So last time when I couldn't stream, I did some troubleshooting and I eventually gave up and started working on the transmission anyways. So there's some stuff you missed. I did record it, but let's kind of go over it a little bit. So at the bottom of this, there is, oh, here it is. So there's this piece, right? So this piece kind of pushes up on the bearings that hold these shafts in. And what I ended up doing, since these weren't quite sitting right, to get this to test fit on correctly, is I screwed this in. Didn't bother with gasketing it or anything, just kind of screwed it in all the way, and that kind of helps set these in place. And then I test fit this on here to make sure I can get it all the way down easy, and so that when I actually have the gasket maker on, I can actually do that. So that's what I did. It went down, it went great. Then it took me a very, very long time to figure out where the 3 balls and 2 springs go, or kind of work and go. So on the instructions, see if you guys can get to see that better. There are 3 balls, 2 springs, and then there's actually another ball right here on the pole. The way it works is the first ball and spring go into, here it is. So this hole right here, they go all the way down and into this little, there's a hole on this side, so it goes all the way down through all this into here, all the way down into here. So there's a spring that goes in there, then there's a ball. The ball is going to want to push out and fall out. So what you got to do is when you're setting this thing down into there, is you have to hold the ball down against the spring as you push it down until the pole comes through the hole and holds the ball in. I did skip something here. There is another ball that goes in here and in here. So it goes right in here. So there's a ball and spring in here that we talked about earlier, but you have to remove this from the pole to do that, either way. But there's another one that goes in between the 2 poles in here. And the way you do that one is you put it in, well actually before you even do that, sorry, I'm going further back, you put the plug back in the bottom. There's a special tool that you're supposed to put in the bottom. I don't know why yet, but for now, this part, for just putting it together, this section together, the plug works just fine. Let me get my gloves on. I'm gonna actually just go ahead and do this part. Let's keep this as clean as possible. All right. So we got a ball, and all these 4 balls are the same. So this will go in there. In fact, it might be easiest to, yeah. So we're gonna tilt this all the way down, and you see it goes in that hole, into the hole right behind it. I just remembered I did not put any oil on that yet, and I kind of want to do that. The best way to get it out is grab the magnet, stick it all the way down. All right. Get a little bit of oil on that. All right, so now it's down in there. We bring it up. So remember, there's a notch on this pole. So we bring it up until it falls into that notch. Actually, I might. Well, you might not want to fall in that notch for some reason. Stick your finger in there. There it goes. So it's kind of in that notch now. So now, I'm gonna rest this on my knee. We grab the pole. Oil it up a little bit here. So it slides nice and easy. And the side with the notch goes up and out. And then this little notch right here faces this pole, faces the other pole right next to it. So it slides right in. Oops, I gotta make sure that stays in that notch so that the ball doesn't get pushed out. And once it's clear of that, we can actually lift it back up. So now the pole's holding it in. This slides down. And now, kind of fiddle around with it here. And that ball should pop into this hole. So now, once you lift it up, this pole's free until it goes into that hole, and now it can drop all the way down. So now there's a ball in between here and here, and remember this notch faces this pole. That's how that worked, and that took me forever to learn and figure out. The next part is fun. This part, actually we're gonna, okay, yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and make sure the surfaces are nice and clean for gasket maker. I might be wondering, and why did I take it apart again? Well, see, last time I added way too much gasket maker stuff. This is anaerobic stuff, yeah, on the machine surface, so it does not take much. And there was a lot still left on the inside, and I didn't want that to become a problem, so I took it apart. And good thing too, because there was still stuff in there that was not cured after several days anyway, so yeah. So I've already cleaned it off quite a bit, cleaned off all the old stuff. There's some of the old stuff over here. So that was the reason I took it apart, just because I put too much stuff on it. I didn't want that to be causing any problems. This is some kind of like activator stuff, and this is just brake clean. So let's clean this off, make sure it's nice and repaired. Thankfully, since that stuff was put on recently, it still came off, like peeled right off most of it, and then just wiped the rest away. Cool. So let that set and dry a bit. Let's get rid of this little bit here. Prepping the surface. I believe this said 2 to 3 minutes. Allow 3 to 5 minutes. So we put activator on. Spray on both main surfaces, 3 minutes. Apply adhesive. Assemble. Okay. So we are at 10:25. I'm being kind of generous with it. Smells weird. All right. So allow 3 to 5 minutes for that to dry. So allow till like 10:28. So we got 3 minutes for that to dry. While that's doing that, let's go ahead and prep the ball and spring here as possible. So ball and spring. The ball actually is gonna have to wait, but the spring can go ahead and go in. It is on the top side, which is upside down, so it goes in this hole and goes across. We'll flip it this way so y'all can see. It goes all the way across to the other side. Drop it in. We're actually going to need to use that and this in a second. Okay, so the spring, and we just kind of feed it all the way down to the bottom hole. So now it's in this hole down here. And then we will feed the ball in there and then push it in place when we get to that point. All right. And clean and ready. As much as it can be. A good thing to do would be to knead it a little bit, but I've already kind of done that. Just kind of feel it up and down a bit so get it mixed together. Activator is sat for a while, so we want a very, very small amount on here. And go ahead and bring all the way around that. These are surfaces, and we press it together pretty much. So it's very press it every time. So a little goes a long way. See better. Okay. Don't have much time. No time to explain. Okay. Don't forget the ball. But we're just gonna line this up for now. Try to make sure we don't get any dirt and stuff on the bottom here. Okay. No, don't have time. Put this on. Alright. So then we gotta line up the poles. The first pole we line up is that one. It kind of lines up before you think it would. You line up the shaft a little bit, and then you line up this pole. Make sure that pole goes through. Okay, we're good. All right, I have things pretty much aligned because I just took it apart before, so it's gone together pretty smoothly so far. So now, grab the little sphere. Preferably with the clean glove. Clean hand. Little sphere. We're going to drop it into this lower shaft or pole thing here. We're going to lower it slightly so that it lines up with that. I'm using my leg to hold this right now. And we got a flathead here that's a little wonky, so just use the flathead to push it in that hole. Might have to raise it up slightly. There it goes. Okay, it's in the hole. Drop it. Let go, and it's in there. All right. Finish setting this down. And press. And it's in. Got stuff coming out the side a little bit here. Not much coming out the side there. So I think we add a little bit more over here than over there. I think we're good. Okay, I already cleaned off these bolts. I believe they're all literally the same, so we're just going to put them in and hope for the best. There should be 9 of these bolts. They're size 12 socket. Trying to start them all by finger here so we don't cross thread. And I could not find a torque spec for these, so we're gonna say good and tight. Run them down, kind of a starch pattern here. Those are all run down. Now I'm going to tighten them. Just going to do it. Come on. Careful not to mar that surface that I just banged, because that's kind of important. Now remember, we're going into aluminum, so we don't want these like over tight. In retrospect, maybe putting a little bit of blue thread lock on wouldn't be too bad of an idea, but we do have this gasket maker on there, so that might help hold the threads in anyways, so yeah. Now that's in, and setting and seating. We can clean off any excess that comes on the outside, so that way there's nothing for it to grab on and pull from if something were to snag it. Alright, next. There are a couple more bolts. The order doesn't truly matter, I guess, but it is important to replace the little crush washer here. I call it a gasket in the instructions. I already replaced it, so I'm hoping I don't have to replace it again, but yeah. That's for both of these, and these two hold in that single gear with a single shaft that goes right here. That's for reverse, I believe. And that's why you leave the bottom one loose before you put in the top one. Yeah, I have 29 on this. I think it's somewhere below 29 though, like 23, but they're close enough in range that, yeah. And I also don't really trust this bar here. I'm gonna do a little, like an 1/8 turn past 29 just to be safe. The instructions do say there's a plug that goes here. This is actually the hole for either the neutral switch or the reverse switch. I don't remember which. But the instructions are for a different transmission, so that's why. So there's no need to plug that hole with anything. There is this bolt here, I believe that goes here. Yes, okay. This one does need to be sealed. I already cleaned it off quite a bit, and then clean it up a little bit better. I think we could get away with just putting thread sealer on here, but I'm gonna put a little bit of blue thread locker on here anyways. And then that goes in, yeah, this hole here, okay. Yep, that's a 17. I'm pretty sure this one is what my torque bar is set to, 29 foot-pounds. Yeah, I'm already there. So that's 29, clean off a little bit. Yeah, and I can see my marks are lined up, so that's good. Alright. Since this has been resting on my lap a little bit, I'm gonna clean off the pole. Alright, and I think that's about as far as I got last time. The next part of the instructions wants you to put the bottom plate in. Maybe before or after putting the clip in here, I'm not sure. But the bottom plate, little piece that goes in there, or front plate I guess you could say, needs a new seal put in it, and I tried putting a new seal in it and I don't think I did a good job, and I don't know how far down it needs to be seated, so that's probably just gonna have to wait for the time being. We're gonna go ahead and put the clip on this. This goes all the way down here, and pull up on this to pull it up, and then we grab our tool, retaining rings. And just extend it out a little bit, push it down. Don't need to go wild with it. Let's snap into place. Oh no, Come on, I need you to clear. There we go. All the way around, tap it down. Make sure it's all the way in. All good. Good. All right. So we're gonna skip the front part for now. Actually, might have to do the bottom first. Okay, so then it wants me to assemble the top section here. All right. So the problem with the seal I just put in here last time, the main problem is I don't know how far down it needs to be. Right now it's kind of lined up just with the top rim here. And if that's all it needs to be, then it's probably fine. I don't have the specific tool to punch it down here is the problem. So, but if it needs to go all the way down, then I'm gonna need to get a socket that actually fits the outer ring so I can punch it all the way down. All right, so I was looking up a previous video of me working on this piece before taking out the gasket. So I took this out last time and was putting a new one in, and that has a little shine right there, so this goes all the way down. So it's not all the way down yet because I couldn't do that last time, but this might fit, so I might have a way to punch it down. I'm gonna see if I can try. Not happy, Bob. Not happy. And it goes all the way down there, and then over here it doesn't go down at all. Yeah, the seal seems pretty damaged already. Okay, well, that's as far as we're getting tonight. I'm gonna need to order a new seal, and hopefully we can install the new one without damaging anything. And if that one doesn't work, then we'll have to replace this entire piece, which I really hope we don't have to do, because I don't know where I'd get one of these in a reasonable amount of time. Make sure this is all oiled up so it doesn't rust while it sits outside. And I think ideally I'd get a socket that would fit that hole better. Okay, I could, I don't know if I want to, but I could put the clutch in and the flywheel. Maybe I should go see how much it would cost to have the flywheel resurfaced. I mean, that would probably be the wise thing to do. I mean, it's not rough or anything. I am putting a new clutch on, so I don't know. Yeah. Have a good night. Bye-bye.